Egypt, red lines for us, and we will not allow this to happen. So this is what we are This is what we are trying to do in full cooperation with our friends in the United States, with Qatar, with the international community, and that's why it was very important, timely meeting to have for the Arab and the Muslim Ministerial Committee to meet today, and then to meet with the extended international partners from Europe, from Russia, from China. So that's why we are grateful for Turkey for having this meeting. So we will continue to work on that, and we are in the final stage of preparations with United Nations and of course with all stakeholders and our partners in the Palestinian government and authority in order to be well prepared as soon as we have a ceasefire. We will have the conference, and then we will make it applicable on the ground. As you all know, we have 3 stages: early recovery, first phase of reconstruction, and second phase of the reconstruction with specific time frames and cost for each one. We will push, we will do our best, of course, to make it happening on the ground. And of course, issues related to governance and security. We are very serious. We are talking with the Palestinians, with the Arab partners, with the Muslim partners, with the international partners in order to address issues related to the day after in Gaza. Who will run Gaza? We have a clear answer and an understanding, as we always saying, an administrative temporary committee consists of 15 persons, all independent, all technocrats, all from Gaza, non-affiliated to factions, will run Gaza for 6 months under the full cooperation and control of the Palestinian government. And that during this 6 months period, the Palestinian Authority will be empowered in order to be fully deployed in Gaza, to run Gaza from the security point of view, from the daily life point of view, from everything related to governing Gaza, and in order to guarantee and assure the unity between Gaza and the West Bank. The same for security, and we have a vision, we have a specific ideas for the security. Who will take care of security? The answer is very clear: the Palestinian themselves, and that's why we are empowering the Palestinian policemen, providing training and recruiting new members in order to be deployed in Gaza to take care of the law and order and security in Gaza. And of course, we are standing ready for deployment of an international force, protection, peacekeeping, whatever we call it, to be there in order to provide security and protection for the Palestinians, and of course, to move forward with having a political horizon which will lead to the realization of the Palestinian state. Let me conclude by saying that no peace, no security for Israel, for any country in the region, without finding a final solution of the Palestinian cause based on the approved, agreed international parameters, and the realization of the Palestinian state on the lines of the 4th of June, 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. This is the only guarantee to have peace and stability in our neighborhood.
Thank you, Badr. Thank you. You are excused. You have some other appointments to attend, but you are saving yourself from the questions.
He answered all the questions.
Yeah. He answered all the questions. Well, as Badr explained to us, there is one danger here. No matter what answers we give for the ceasefire or future of Gaza governance or reconstruction, it's not finding any echo or reasonable reaction from the other side. The reason is, as the time is being showing us, they have no intention of actually seeing the Palestinian people in Palestine. So any proposal to have a ceasefire or to bring an alternative order and services to Gaza or the West Bank is not welcomed by Israel, because they want a Palestinian territory without Palestinians. And they are not shy of displaying this policy. So in the light of this development, I like to turn to Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa. He is someone that I really admire very much. No matter the circumstances are difficult, he has an excellent work ethic and enthusiasm, and he's trying to keep West Bank together by delivering basic services, by finding finance, and by really attending every daily business of the Palestinian people. So, dear friend, how is the situation in West Bank now? You know, we are paying a lot of attention to what's happening in Gaza and the genocide in Gaza, but at the same time, we know that there is another series of crimes taking place in West Bank. So what is the situation in West Bank through your eyes? How optimistic are you for the future of Palestine? And what else can be done to advance the agenda of two-state solution?
Thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate your hospitality and your leadership and the meeting earlier today. I think it was a very well run, a very effective meeting, came at the right time, but also we're pleased to be part of the ADF this year and be contributing to that. So thank you for the opportunity. The future of Palestine, I'll start from there, if I may. The future of Palestine will be bright. As long as we have people on the ground that love their country as we do, they are so resilient, you can be hopeful. So displacement is a threat, destruction is a threat, wars are a threat, settlements are threats, economic sanctions and economic hardship is a threat, but our people will prevail. Our people will prevail. Having said that, I think when the Gaza war started, we always said that the war did not start on October 7th. Our people in Palestine have been subject to all sorts of wars, displacements, destruction, hunger, whatever you want to call it, for 77 years, since 1948. So we had no illusions that what's happening in Gaza is just another chapter in this long journey for independence for Palestine and for peace and security for the region. So we have no illusions that this is just another war. Therefore, we have acted responsibly so that we not only try to protect our people in Gaza, but also try to stabilize the situation in the West Bank. So while the war in Gaza continued, unfortunately, our people in West Bank, especially in the refugee camps of the West Bank, have been a subject of Israeli illegal actions, displacement again within the West Bank from refugee camps to cities, and financial siege in order to make things difficult for people to stay and live in West Bank, especially in addition to refugee camps, especially in East Jerusalem. There are all kinds of hardship facing our people in Jerusalem. So the Israeli efforts to undermine our presence as Palestinians in the West Bank has always been there, but clearly been more clear in the last few months. I think more than 60,000 Palestinians have been displaced from refugee camps in the West Bank. More than 200,000 people were kicked out of their work in Israeli companies. There have been 900 checkpoints established within the West Bank to prevent movement and access of people and goods, make life miserable and difficult. So all these efforts add up to one thing. They do want to see Palestinians in their land. That's what it is, whether it's in Gaza or in the West Bank. The objective is the same. They want to see Palestinians stay on their homes, demand their independence day after day, and so on. So the good news, and that's why I'm so optimistic, is that despite of all of this, our people are staying the course, continuing with their struggle for independence. And we will protect our land, we will protect our future by sitting on our land, our country, whatever it takes. So, having said that, I just want to add something, that although things are difficult, although we as a Palestinian government are committed to continue to do everything we can to prevent displacement, to prepare a better future for our people in Gaza, but also to pursue the objective of independent state, we should not forget to thank all the friends and partners in the region and around the world who have been consistently supportive of our cause. The good news is, despite what the Israeli side is doing, there is 149 countries around the world recognize Palestine as a state. And that's important. That's important. So we will stay the course, but I want to take this opportunity to thank Turkey specifically for the good work that President Erdogan, the government, and yourself, of course, my friend, for all the good work you are doing to support our people.
Well, thank you very much, dear friend. You know, from your statement, it's very clear that you are again and again exposing one clear fact, that Israel's main objective is to make the entire Palestinian territory a place where no one can live. Hard methods, soft methods, war, blockade, whatever measure necessary to make the Palestinian territory unlivable, they are taking. So it is taking place in the eyes of entire world. So it is our primary duty to first expose this and to develop action against this and to take measure against this. Now, speaking of all the actions and measures, we have a distinct guest here, Foreign Minister of Jordan. Jordan, as you know, has been a part of regional and international, all the efforts when it comes to Palestine. And my dear friend, Ayman al-Safadi, personally, for the last 2 years, I have the privilege of working together with him in many international meetings and events just to defend the Palestine. So he is very knowledgeable about it, and he is very much active. So I want to ask him, through Jordan's eyes, I know that you have a specific responsibility for Masjid al-Aqsa too, and you are very close to West Bank, and you have already declared a red line for some scenarios, for future scenarios of West Bank. So when you look at overall what's happening in Gaza and the ambitions towards West Bank, and how do you see it, and how our work collectively on contact group together can be more effective, more institutionalized through our work, please.
Good evening to you all, and thank you, dear brother Hakan, for hosting us today. And I want to congratulate you on the success of this really amazing forum. And I want to stress again that we've been working together as partners with a view to achieving our common goal of achieving justice, ending the oppression of the Palestinian people, and setting our region on a course towards a future of peace, stability, and security for all. So again, I recognize the importance of our partnership, and I thank you for your efforts, dear brother. Look, I think this is a friendly audience that really knows everything that's happening in the region, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining what's happening in terms of the immediate, but I must say that we've got to, right now, identify our priorities. And the number one priority is to stop the carnage, stop the madness, stop the brutal killing of Palestinians and the destruction of Gaza. Because that is going unabated, despite our continuous efforts, not just as a group, but also among many others of our partners, to bring this brutal war to an end. We have not been able to do so. The amount of destruction is beyond description, and I think facts speak to themselves in terms of the number of Gazans killed, numbers of children killed, numbers of hospitals destroyed. I think that has crossed the record of any other conflict in modern history. As you said, we in Jordan are the closest to the Palestinians, and the Palestinian issue remains to be at the forefront of our priorities, working with our brothers and partners to try and bring an end to the conflict. And I think we've got to look at the bigger picture and really assess the strategic danger that we see happening here. If you look at Israeli policies across the region, from Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, and Syria, I think we'll see a pattern of Israel escalating under false pretenses to try and achieve its own strategic objective of expanding their territory at the expense of neighboring Arab countries. And that's something that we have to watch very, very carefully. What is it that Israel wants, and what is it that we can do to stop it from achieving it? And I think key to this is really exposing the policies of Israel, showing the long-term devastating consequences of its policies, not just on us in the region, but also in the Arab and Muslim wars, but also in Israel itself. Because I think by now, decades into the conflict, everybody knows that unless we solve the root cause of conflict, which is the Israeli occupation of Palestine, the denial of the Palestinian people of their right to freedom and safety and justice and statehood, the region will never enjoy security. And war will continue to be a shadow hanging over our region. That has been the history. So I think now the focus must be on ending the war, saving people. Imagine that since March the 2nd, not a single piece of bread has been allowed to over 2 million Palestinians who've already lost their homes and their schools and their streets and their clinics, everything. So how is denying people their basic right to food a self-defense act? How is this investment in the security of Israel, or even in the future of Israel in the region? These are the hard facts that we know, but these are the hard facts that we've been working collectively together in the group to expose to the world and to explain that there is a false Israeli narrative out there that is distorting facts, and that's sowing the seed of future conflict in the region. And it's not what we in the committee have been doing or not doing that's really the reason for why this carnage and this brutality is continuing. We in the group are very unequivocal about what we want. We want to end the conflict, the war in Gaza. We want to solve the Palestinian-Israeli conflict on the basis of the two-state solution that will guarantee security, stability for all in the region, and that a sovereign, independent Palestinian state would live in peace and security alongside a secure Israel as well. That's been our proposition. That has been our plan for decades. What do we hear from Israel? And ask any Israeli officials, what is your vision for beyond the immediate wars that, and I say wars in the plural because we see what's happening in the West Bank, we see what's happening in Syria as well. And we will not get the answer. And this is the message with which we need to go, armed with facts, to the world and say, we want peace, but in order for peace to last, it has to be just. And in order for the peace to be just, it has to fulfill the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people to freedom and statehood. Nobody is looking the long term, but there are over 500,000 boys and girls in Gaza who haven't gone to school for the last 2 years. What kind of future awaits these? How is Israel going to achieve security if the Palestinian people continue to suffer destruction and continue to have their rights exposed? And we can go into Syria later and what's happening there, but ultimately the message from us in the region is that we want peace, we have a plan for peace, but we don't have a partner in the current Israeli government, and we're really all looking forward to being able to take our plan further, share it with the rest of the world, including with the United States, which is a key partner to all of us, particularly now that we have an American president, President Trump, who says he wants to make peace. And we are partners in that effort to make peace. And I think it's our job to explain that in order for that to happen, the Palestinians have to have their state and have to have their freedom to live side by side, Israel and peace and security. But I think we cannot continue as an international community to have the future of the region taken hostage to the ideology of the Israeli Prime Minister and to the radical extremist ministers in his government. Not only is he taking the future of the region hostage, he's taken even the future of his people hostage at the expense, in order for him to serve his political interests and for the ideologues in his government to serve that ideology. That is not the right thing. That is not going to produce peace. That's not going to produce security. And I think even Israelis themselves should ask themselves, what kind of future do they want to have? How are they going to navigate the oceans of hatred and dehumanization that the continuation of the war is creating in the region? We want to live in peace. We want all of us to live in peace, but there is only one path to that peace: ending the occupation, fulfilling the rights of Palestinians to freedom and statehood, so that a Palestinian state again would live side by side Israel in peace and security.
Thank you, Ayman. After our opening remarks, I would like to open the floor to the audience for Q&A, and we have almost 10 minutes, a little bit more than 10 minutes. So who would like to ask the questions? Lady over there, please. Mikrofon yok mu arkadaşlar? A mic, please. Please try to shout.